Hi everyone, welcome back to Edu Remote. We are back with a new video, and in this video we are going to solve a paper, the UGC NET paper. I'm sure all of you know about UGC NET. It is an examination on clearing which you are eligible to become an assistant professor in India, as well as you can apply for your PhD if you are interested in higher studies. So in this particular session we are going to discuss the UGC 2025 June paper. The structure is such that there is paper 1 and paper 2. In paper 1 you have the general paper. It is of 50 questions, 100 marks total, and in paper 2 you have 100 questions, total 200 marks, meaning that each question carries 2 marks. Now the syllabus for the examination, you can find it on UGC official website. Here definitely we are talking about economics because Edu Remote specifically tries to discuss the concepts of economics. So you will find the syllabus there. I'll not go into the details of discussing that. Here, as you can see, we have the question paper, and we will begin by paper 1. So first is the general one. The general paper means the general question paper. So first we will discuss paper 1, and once again we will first discuss the theoretical questions, because only telling you the answer is not sufficient. If you are really aspiring to clear NET, I am sure your preparation should be such that you should have a brief idea of all the concepts on which these questions are based. So first we will start by the theoretical questions. And as you can see, question number 1 to 5 is numerical. It is the data interpretation question. So all the numerical question we will cover in a different video. We will publish this NET paper solving in the form of a series based on the year and June and December, and you will find all the solved questions in the form of episodes. So you can just visit our page and you can go through the episodes to have the continuity of the questions solved. We can see from question number 7, 8, 9 is not there, 11 and 12. We will discuss 4 questions in this video because we will not make the video excessively long. We will take the longest explanation in the beginning, and thereafter we will go to the remaining theoretical questions. So we will start with question number 12 and then we will go backwards. So question number 12 here is saying, which of the following is the valid deductive forms of reasoning? So now you know, right, I suppose that forms of reasoning, the most popular 2 types of reasoning is deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. That deductive reasoning is when you are trying to draw a specific conclusion based on a general observation. It means that based on some generalized statements, you are trying to conclude and come to one specific conclusion. Now these statements are called premises and the conclusion is the conclusion. So deductive reasoning, as you can see here, it is moving from a general statement, which is a broad idea, to a specific conclusion or a narrow conclusion based on the broad general statements. Now there are 3 main types of deductive reasoning. One is syllogism, modus ponens and modus tollens. So having a brief idea of each, first one is syllogism. Syllogism is when you are forming a specific conclusion based on 2 or more premises, means based on 2 or more statements which are connected to each other, you are coming to one specific conclusion. For example, consider this example. The first statement is called the major premise and the second one minor premise. So the first one says all mammals are animals. The second statement, all elephants are mammals. So based on this 2, the conclusion is therefore all elephants are animals. This is syllogism. The next type is modus ponens. So it is a form where the first statement is generally a condition. It's a conditional statement, and the second part just merely confirms the first part of the previous statement. So there are two statements. The first one is a condition, and the second one only confirms the first part of the initial statement. Based on that, you are concluding. If today is Tuesday, then John will go to work, is the first statement. This is the condition. Second is today is Tuesday. This is confirming the first part of the previous statement. So the conclusion is, therefore John will go to work. Third one is modus tollens, also known as law of contrapositive. Here there are two statements. The first one is conditional, and the second statement is a contradiction of the first statement. If an object is made of iron, it will be attracted to a magnet. This is the first statement. The second one is a contradiction. This object is not attracted to a magnet. So the conclusion is, therefore this object is not made of iron. So this is how, using modus tollens, you can deduct this kind of conclusion. These are the three types. Now what was the initial question here? The question was, which of the following are valid deductive forms of reasoning? As you can see, options are here. Answer is 2, means A, B and C only. So modus ponens, modus tollens, and hypothetical syllogism. Argument for analogy is not a deductive form of reasoning. So the next question was, choose the correct statement regarding environmental incidents from the following. So there are some popular environmental incidents. So Bhopal accident happened on 3rd December 1984, and it was because of the methyl isocyanate leakage from the pesticide plant, and it causes thousands of deaths. Now please understand, in order to study these kind of questions, it's very essential to also have a basic idea about when it happened. That is why in our video we are telling you the date, the year when it happened, and the main highlights of the incident. Like here, the gas methyl isocyanate was the main cause for this accident in Bhopal. Next is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This happened on 6th and 9th August 1945, and definitely I'm very sure you people have studied this in history, that the US had dropped these bombs in Japan in the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on 6th and 9th respectively during World War II. Bhuj incident happened on 26 January 2001. This is a very devastating earthquake which happened in Gujarat, and the epicenter was Bhuj. So okay, the next one is Fukushima nuclear power plant incident. This happened 11th March 2011, and here it's a nuclear plant accident which happened in Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in Okuma in Fukushima, Japan, and the reason behind this was the earthquake and tsunami of Tohoku. Okay. Next is the Chernobyl accident in Soviet Union. This happened on 26 April 1986. This, I'm very sure everybody knows about this. This happened in Ukraine, and this happened because the number 4 RBMK reactor of the nuclear plant in Chernobyl, they were conducting a test of low power test, which led to a massive explosion releasing tons of radiation into the atmosphere. So this is the brief idea of the accident which happened in Chernobyl. So these are the 4 things which are a part of the question, as you can see, and I just gave you a brief idea of each. Now the question is, choose the correct statements. The answer is 2. Answer is 2. So we will see B, A, B and D. So A is Bhopal due to methyl isocyanate, it's correct. B is Hiroshima Nagasaki radioactivity, which is correct. Bhuj incident occurred due to poison gas, no, it is incorrect. Fukushima, this one is due to earthquake. Okay, this is also correct. And Chernobyl accident occurred due to volcano, which is incorrect. So therefore the answer is 2. Now going backwards, the next question here is question number 8. Arrange the following in chronological order on the basis of the launch year. So chronological order means the year or the date in a periodic manner, whichever comes first, and then second in an order. So year of launch, so we will also have a basic idea of what these initiatives mean, because in future if there are questions you will be able to answer it. So we will go to the explanation tab. So as you can see, the focus is on launch dates. So Swayam Prabha, this is 9th July 2017, and it was the initiative by the Ministry of Education to provide 80 high quality educational channels direct to home across the country on 24/7 basis. There are some content providers like NCERT, UGC, IIT, etc. So more or less all of this are education channel initiatives. So Swayam Prabha is 2017. Krishi Darshan is very ancient, it's very old, it's in 1967. I'm very sure all of us know about this. So 26 January 1967, it's the Indian television program on DD National. So when probably you and me, both of us were kids, we used to watch DD National. So it is the longest television series in India, and it broadcasts to 80 villages close to Delhi, and it is also shown on DD Kisan. Okay, then next is Gyan Darshan. This was launched in 26th January 2000, in the year 2000. This is the 24-hour satellite educational TV channel broadcast shown on direct to home channels, as well as it is found on the website of IGNOU. So the university IGNOU, you will find it in their website. There is a webcast. So if you open IGNOU's official website, you will find Gyan Darshan there as a channel. You can click on that and you can access the educational content which they have there. And last is what? PM eVidya. This is the most recent one. This was launched on 17th May 2020. Okay, 2020. And this was a comprehensive initiative that unifies all digital, online, on-air education effort. So this was mainly aimed to enable the multi-mode access to education. It's a learning platform which is provided free of cost to all the students, so that you can access all kinds of resources which were previously as well as currently which are available in a digital, online, on air. All the efforts are in a comprehensive manner are available on eVidya. It's a digital platform, learning platform. You can find this on Play Store. You can download and you can actually go through the resources. This initiative was launched on 2020. Okay, so 2020. So what is the question here? The chronological order. The answer to this question is, answer is 3. So answer is BCAD. BCAD. So basically the first one is Krishi Darshan, second one is Gyan Darshan, third one is Swayam Prabha, and the fourth one is PM eVidya. So this is the answer. Now going backwards, we will go to the fourth question. In the middle of the video, I would like to say, if you find this helpful, then please support us by clicking on the subscribe button. Please like our video and share it with other people. We come here purely with the intention to help our viewers, especially aspirants who want to qualify UGC NET. So we have come with the brief structure, brief idea of each concept, which I am very sure in the form of a video will be very helpful. Okay, so question number 7, choose the right statements. So there are some statements and you have to understand which is correct and incorrect. So again, we will have a basic idea. So what is Cisco? Cisco is an American MNC which designs hardware, software and telecommunication equipments, and it is a technology company which manufactures these things. What is VLC? VLC is visible light communication, which is a wireless communication. It's a technique, it's a technology which enables high speed data transmission, and it uses visible light, typically from LEDs. It is also known as Li-Fi or light fidelity. Okay, so VLC is also known as Li-Fi or light fidelity. These are the things which are important concepts or ideas which you are supposed to pick up. Then SDN is software defined networking. It is a networking approach which enables the flexible and dynamic programmable network controlled by software apps. So these are all technological concepts. I am very sure people from computer engineering will be able to relate to these and probably have better clarity on these topics. But if you are from the economics background, you should have a basic idea, especially the highlights of what these concepts mean. So HyperCat is an open, lightweight, JSON based hypermedia catalog format for information on resources on the Internet of Things. So there is this concept IoT, which means Internet of Things. So HyperCat is a JSON based hypermedia catalog format for the information on resources of these things. So this is an overview. Now honestly, I don't know much about technological theories because I am from economics background, but definitely even as an economist you will be appearing for the general paper. So it's better to have an overview of the basic concept rather than just knowing what is the option, what is the correct option for the answer. I think that's about it. So you will find the videos in the form of episodes on our channel. So please subscribe to our channel, and I'm very sure this will be very helpful for you, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.